Hey, it's Falava. Leotel with Dr. John Peterson, TE2 Edge Sports Cards. Back at it again, baby. Back at it again. We're not playing any games here on Sunday. Nope, not any games at all. I was watching the Vikings game. Packers aren't on, unfortunately, because they get blacked out when the Vikings and the Packers play at the same time. So I was like watching the Vikings game, and it was boring. They're playing the boring Jets. No offense to Jets fans out there, but Jets got to be one of the most boring franchises in the history of professional sports. So figured I'd come back down here and do a part two of the 1983 Tops Vending Pack box break. I got the vending pack here. How did we do the first time around? Well, it was okay. Let me see here. So I paid, just so you know, because I got to be up front, about the money spent. I think I paid like $300 for each vending box. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap. I got to spend down a little bit for business purposes. And this first year, here's the deal. When you run a business, you got to invest in the business. I'm not going to lie. I'll tell you straight up. My first year running my business, I lost $55,000. Yeah, count it. 55,000. I took it in the shorts my first year running my business. But I invested in my business. I invested in myself. I wrote off my deductions legitimately. And now I'm doing much better. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how much I'm going to make this year, but it's over six figures. Definitely on the gross side. And the net profit will be a little less than that because I do deductions, of course, and try and keep my income down as much as possible so I don't have to pay the government a bunch of taxes. I do pay taxes, don't get me wrong, but I try not to pay them tons of taxes. So, so part of it is building up inventory, stuff like this. I'm going to send in an order to PSA and get some of these cards graded. Yeah, there's nothing super huge in here. Get those graded. Got a stack of cards here that I'm going to get graded. I want to get some of these exhibits graded. Got a few of those. So, just a little bit here, a little bit there. I've got a show coming up, not this Saturday, well, in 1 week, a week from yesterday. And then doing a 3-day show, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And then probably won't do a show in January, but then we'll do a show February, March, April, and then there's a state show. The first ever Minnesota state show is happening the end of April. And I'm actually in talks with the promoter for that event. And he and I are thinking about collaborating and working together to promote that and make that as strong an event as possible. I think he's got space for like 300 tables. 300 dealer tables, and he's only sold like 30 tables so far, so we got a ways to go with that. But anyway, these were the cards that I pulled out that I thought were worthy of potentially sending in. So it's amazing. These 83 Tops cards, they're not centered well. I mean, they're not centered horribly, but they're not centered well. I'm not going to lie to you. So this one, the Whitaker's not centered very well, but it's worth a little more. The Gibson's not centered perfectly. Kuzman. I think this one's pretty good. The Lansford. Lefebvre is pretty good. This one's good. This is like a $175 card in a Gem in 10. The Viola's probably an 8, maybe a 9. And then the Carew. And then on the star card side, I pulled out 2 Sandbergs, which was fun. God, that's a great card. What a great rookie card. Look at his face. His batting stance. That's fantastic. And then you got George Brett. Got the chaw. Got the tobacco in his mouth. So I might have to end this quick, like in the middle of the feed live stream, because we're going to get the Christmas tree today. And we're going to go at halftime of the football game. My son's watching the football game, and so I may have to end this abruptly. So if that is the case, I apologize. The vending case I've never done vending cases before. In fact, I didn't even know what vending cases even were until this year. I had to ask someone from BBCE, and they're like, oh, this is what a vending case is. And now that I think about it, yeah, I do remember there being vending machines where they sold sports cards. Mostly baseball. But yeah, so it made sense. I just didn't know that they put them in these boxes, you know. So anyway, well, let's take a look and see what we get here. Anything that is centered, I set aside, or decently centered, I set aside. I've got the PSA registry or price guide pulled up here, so we can kind of get a sense of what some of these might be worth. Man, this is like a walk down memory lane here. The Wallach is decent. Steve Swisher. We got Steve Henderson. Looks like this might be a short live stream because I think we're going to be getting the tree pretty soon. My wife and kids are coming back to the house, so. But we'll keep going here, and then I can always start another one. Billy Martin. God, I forgot that he coached the A's. Three manager. Well, Wathen's not a manager. He was a manager with the Royals back in the late 80s. There's a Gaetti rookie. Well, that's a nice Gaetti. It's in pretty good shape. Oh, here comes the crew. I can hear them. Hi! Ron LaFleur. Ed Glynn. Clyde King. That's a classic. He looks older than the hills. Juan Bonilla. That one looks pretty centered. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I missed you.
Missed you too. How was it?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
You had fun?
Yeah. Are you on a live stream right now?
Yeah, I'll talk to you maybe
Okay.
just a little bit.
Cool. Sounds
All right,
good.
sounds good. You guys get settled in. If you got any dirty clothes, put them downstairs. Oh, you got the Nolan Ryan here. That's nice. Off-center, though. Left to right, or right to left. Paul Boris. Mark Wagner. Larry Bittner. This card looks pretty centered. Let's see what this one's worth. $527. $28. Yeah, at the current bulk rate, probably not a good investment to get it graded, but I'll set it aside all the same. So we haven't seen a Boggs or a Gwynn yet. So I'm kind of curious as to where those are hiding out. Oh, I better set this way. I'm going to be in trouble with pulling these out. All right, here we go. Rafael Ramirez. Oh, there's a Yount. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's so off-centered. And the Ramirez looks pretty centered, a little bit off. Yeah, too bad about the... Oh, there's Tony Gwynn. But not centered. I forgot that Gwynn was after Yount. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Dang. Dang. Mark Brohard. Roy Howell. Greg Minton. Harold Baines. Dave Collins. Dick Hauser. This one looks pretty good. Rudy May. Oh, the Feber. Let me put this Gwynn in a sleeve here. Yeah, the gem rate, the 10 gem mint 10 rate on these Gwynns is really low. I think it's a highly off-centered card. I think it's like 3%. It's low. You don't typically do very well. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this off pretty quick, I think, because we got to go get the Christmas tree. Let me go through the rest of these cards, and then I'll come back at another time. Fever. Fred Lynn. Ralph Hauk. Oh my God, look at that guy. Old school. Ken Forsch. John Butcher. Bob McClure. Bill Russell. The Russell's off-centered. There's a bench. A lot of good cards in this set. John Denny. Sambito. Joe Sambito. 662. 38. Jerry Remy. Tommy Lasorda. Bob Clark. Manny Sarmiento. There's a Schmidt. That Schmidt looks pretty good. Both the Schmidt and the Trammell look good. The Schmidt looks really good. All right, I'm going to cut this off. I'll be back later today. Peace out. One love.